Hey, everybody, it's Deanna Fenton here. I want to welcome you to this week's episode of Simple Steps to Online Success. I hope you're having a fantastic week. We're headed into fall, which is always my favorite time of year, and I hope it's really great where you are. So, today, this is going to be again a little different than other Facebook Lives that I do, as those of you who join me on a regular basis know. Most of the time, it's a whole lot of screen sharing and a whole lot of Kajabi training. I wanted to share with you, however, over the past few weeks, some information on other topics that we as online course creators, membership site creators, coaching program creators often experience. And today's I want to talk about because doing this kind of work, and especially if perhaps as many of you have, you are actually doing what you do in person with people. I know that I have a lot of members and clients that may have been doing the same kind of thing now that they're trying to do in Kajabi to teach in person with people. Obviously, COVID changed a lot of that. And even though we're starting slowly to get back to the way things used to be, there's also a good chance that things aren't going to go back to the way they used to be, or it's always going to be a little bit different. I'll just give you a quick analogy. Um, I may have said in previous episodes, I'm sort of a reluctant exerciser. I do it because I know I need to do it, but I'm not a gym person. And of course, over in California, at least in early summer last year, we basically couldn't go to the gym. The gyms were closed. And I started working out with my friend and fitness trainer, Sue. And we were doing everything on Zoom, and we're pretty much doing it on Zoom. We actually had our first in-person workout in a year and a half just this past week. So things changed. A lot of people became accustomed to working through Zoom. I'm not saying everybody's happy about it, but we're pretty much used to it. And so a lot of things have changed. So if you're the type of person who had a business where you were working directly in person with people, and you've been trying to move your business online and starting to work virtually with more people, let's just be honest, it gets a little lonely. And I have been working online and working this way for many, many years, so I'm pretty used to it. And that's my personality, that I'm pretty used to it and it works okay for me. But I know for a lot of people, you are craving human interaction. And as you transition into this online world, you feel very isolated. And the topic of this conversation we're having today, which was primarily about creating community online so that you have a support system that understands what you're going through as you build your business on Kajabi or on any platform for that matter. And it came about because one of the benefits that my members have always talked about in the Kajabi Flight Crew Club, which is my membership, is that they have the opportunity to interact with other people doing exactly what they're doing. They get to get feedback from everybody. And as Kirsten, one of my longtime members, mentioned and has said over and over again, she feels it's more like a mastermind because you can ask questions, not just of me, but of other members and get really great feedback. If you're on my email list, and if you're not, I wonder why not. But if you're on my email list, I shared a story that just happened on Tuesday when we were having our one of our monthly co-working sessions. So co-working sessions in the Flight Crew Club consists of a 3-hour block of time where members come in and they generally have a project that they want to work on, and it could be anything. And it's, it's normally Kajabi related or certainly marketing related. But they love it because they can put this time on their calendar and know I've dedicated this time to working on my business. So also the big advantage of that is they get to work, but if they hit something and they're struggling, they have a question, something's not working quite right, they can stop, they can ask for some help from me. And then we use Zoom, and for these calls, I use Zoom rooms, breakout rooms, and we go in a breakout room and we can screen share, we can talk through what's going on. I can get them, back to where they need to be. And then we go back in the main room and they keep working. And so, hey, it happens to me too. You've set aside time to work on something and then something's not working right and you get stopped in your tracks because you can't move forward. So the goal of this is to help get them moving forward again so they can go back to doing the project that they're working on. Well, usually this is everybody's muted, right? And then only the person who has a question is with me in a breakout room and we're talking, but nobody else can hear. Well, one of my members started talking about some frustrations she was having with a membership that she's created. And she's feeling that the audience that she is attracting for this membership is not exactly the audience that she feels she can help the most. So the co-working session turned into kind of a coaching session that other members participated in as well. And this is the beauty of having a community that's generally trying to do the same thing you're doing, right? You're trying to define your ideal audience. You're trying to attract those people. You're trying to nurture them. You're learning their problems, their frustrations, and their challenges so that you can create the products and services to help them. So in the conversation, I talked some, but there was in particular one other member who could identify with the original member's challenge of the ideal audience. What the problem, because what we were trying to narrow down was what is really the problem that the ideal audience has that her membership can help solve. And it was fantastic, right? Because she was getting feedback from somebody who could identify with that ideal audience so that she was giving some feedback about what that person might be thinking, feeling, and currently doing. And we played a game of, I call it So What, but you can also, there's also, it's similar to another strategy, which is called Why. And the idea is to unpack all of the things you're thinking about, the challenge that your audience is having. And if you say something, then in this case, I asked, so what? Well, then you have to go a layer deeper. The example I gave was, I'm trying to remember the example I gave in my email, was I'm having trouble identifying what my ideal customer needs. So I could ask, so what? Or why? And then you go a level deeper. Well, I need to really understand what they're thinking, feeling, and doing about the problem. So what? So that I can really identify the best solution for them. So you can see you can go many, many layers deep with this. So in doing it with this member, where she was coming from the view that the challenge her ideal audience had is they don't feel they are creative. They don't feel they're creative. Now, she's already identified really the people that she wants to work with are business people, typically probably newer in business. And as we did the So What episode, we came down to it isn't necessarily the people that she wants to help don't feel they're creative, but they don't know how to come up with a solution or a strategy to improve customer loyalty and retention. And we got to that by going through this exercise, and my member passionately spoke about what she had done in her own business to surprise and delight her customers. And now, mind you, this woman's been in business 40 years. So this woman knows what she's doing, right? She had created this strategy and this theme in her business that she always surprised and delighted her clients. So they were extremely loyal. And she shared her personal beliefs and her personal values, number one being philanthropy. She shared that with her customer base, and that resonated with her customers. So that improved the loyalty, right? Because they had shared values of giving back. So as we did this, and she's getting feedback from the other members, it just reinforced to me, we need to have this time. We need to have this kind of opportunity to talk through the things that we're working on. All of us do. And I know there's Facebook groups and there's accountability groups and there's a lot. I won't even say there's a lot. There are some opportunities out there to do this kind of thing. But when you find a group like this, that we're not all in the same industry. In fact, honestly, I think it's always better if you're in a group that you're not in the same industry, because certainly you can get tips and tricks from people in your industry. But some of our best ideas come from outside our industry, things that are going on in other businesses that aren't necessarily related to our business. And, one of the interesting ideas, I think, is for the longest time, we've all been focused on in digital marketing, right? If you're a course and membership site creator, everything is digital, right? Everything you give away is digital. It's, a PDF, an ebook, a template, a swipe file, all of those things where guess what? You know what people crave now? Physical things. And they don't have to be big. They really don't have to be big. So I'm going to share with you, and this is one of those things that I think is, look at that. I'm doing my best Vanna White. And you don't have to do actual swag, but can you imagine when these were available through the Marketer's Heart group, people went crazy. Physical things, and don't have to be big. And which is interesting as I'm sharing this is the member that I'm talking about who was going through this process the the surprise and delight that she gives her customers are the little physical things, and they're not expensive. They're not they're not a huge investment in time, but there's just a little thing, a little physical thing that also reminds the customer all the time of who gave this to me, right? It came from Kay. So that's one of the things to think about too. Again, ideas that come from outside your industry, diving deeply with the help of, building your own community somehow, or participating with a community to drill down and help explore the challenges that you've got and possible solutions. So that's it. It's a very short one today, but I wanted to share that with you. And so let me make sure I let you know that if you're watching on the replay, I'd love you to hit #replay. Let me know you were here. And what do you guys do for your community? How do you brainstorm? How do you get ideas? How do you have a group, or maybe it's just an individual? Like, I've had an accountability partner. Oh my gosh. I can't even think. 4 years, 5 years. Danielle and I have talked once a week, almost always, consistently once a week. And she's a great sounding board for me. We're not in the same industry. We don't even have close to the same audience. But she also is more of a project management kind of person. So whenever I'm trying to plan something, she's the best at giving me feedback and helping me define a process for doing things. So it's always so key to have somebody or some group like that in your life. So let me know, where do you go to find community to help you in your business? And I would love you to pop that into the comments below. All right. So I do want to share something really special with you. And I did this last week. And I'm going to fully announce it tomorrow. And I am just saying, watch and keep the week of September 27th open. You don't have to have a whole week open, but I want you to be aware. And I'm going to share with you a little more of a hint about what's going to happen. So let's hide that. And let me come over here and show you. Hang on, let me make sure. Yeah, you are seeing it. A little something called Kajabi Coaching Week. What could that mean? Well, I'm just going to give you a little snippet of information that I am virtually opening the doors to my membership for a week and offering the same kind of coaching that I do every single week with my members to anybody who wants to participate. So that means getting all your Kajabi questions answered. There's going to be free training, and trust me, I am going to share things with you in the training that you are not going to get from Kajabi University. Because, guys, I've worked with Kajabi for 6 years. I know the shortcuts. I know the workarounds. I know the best practices on how to do a lot of the same things that you're going to do. And you know what I'm also going to do? I'm really going to let you know behind the scenes how I'm setting this up. So if you're the type of person that says, ooh, coaching week, how would that work in my business? Or if you're going to do a challenge, because it's going to be very similar to a challenge. you're gonna get training where I'm gonna show you step by step how I set this all up behind the scenes. So this is what's coming on Monday, September 27th through Friday, October the 1st. And the little quickie, I'll give you another little quickie example, what that's going to include: free training. There are going to be all of the little special things behind the scenes of how I set this up myself, how you can set up a coaching week, how you can set up a challenge using Kajabi. We're going to do live Q&A calls. Now, normally my Q&A calls are members only, and we do them exclusively on Zoom. But to make it more accessible for everybody, I'm going to do them on Zoom and live stream Zoom into the Facebook group. So if you have had questions, you want to do some screen sharing, you want to ask other members that participate some of their questions, you can participate with these live Q&A calls. And then you're going to also hear from my members. So just like I was talking about the idea of building your community, you're going to get to hear how did some of these members go from overwhelmed, frustrated, and tech challenged with Kajabi to launching their products and operating and selling their courses and memberships. So that is just a sneak peek of what you're going to find out on Monday, September 27th through Friday, October 1st. Yes. So if you want to get ahead of the curve, you can join the Kajabi Kickstart, because all of this goodness is going to happen in my free Kajabi Kickstart group. So as long as you join there, you're going to get all participation in that. And you can find it at facebook.com/groups Kajabi Kickstart. And, I had let's see. Oh, wow. Hi, Sammy. You're watching from Afghanistan. Wow. I don't want to get into politics or anything like that, but I hope you are safe and you're doing okay. It's so nice to have you join me. All right. So once again, the week of September 27th, that is just 11 days away, 10 days away, something like that. I look forward to having you join me. Join Kajabi Kickstart on Facebook. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, I almost said if you're watching this on Facebook, I guess this doesn't apply to you. But if you're watching this on YouTube and you are like, I don't want to go in a Facebook group, don't worry. You will still have access through Zoom to participate in the Q&A calls. All of the training and member spotlights, all of the content that's going to be in the Facebook group will be available on Kajabi landing pages. Special Kajabi landing page just for participants. If you don't want to set a digital foot into Facebook, you're covered. You can just watch everything on the Kajabi landing pages and get the exact same content. All righty. Cool. I hope you are all doing very well, and I am looking forward to speaking to you again next week. By then, the doors will be open. You will get a notification if you're on my email list when registration for Coaching Week starts. Will probably be tomorrow. So let me just share, just like you, sometimes our best laid plans get delayed. I was hoping that the opt-in would be done so you could start signing up today, but it'll be tomorrow. All right. I hope you have a great week and weekend, and I look forward to talking to you real soon. Bye-bye.